This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Searching for answers, Ukrainians who fled to Canada face uncertainty over their immigration status.
Busing problems. Colchester school bus cancellations leave parents scrambling for alternate transportation.
And professional women's hockey fans hope for an expansion team in the region.
Those winds finally easing. A quieter Tuesday, but the week itself very active. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. There's growing concern in the Ukrainian community about what will happen to the thousands who came to Canada after the war began.
They say they've been left in shock after learning it could be decades before the federal immigration department processes their permanent residency applications.
And they're trying to get answers now before they're forced to return to uncertainty back home. Carolyn Ray explains.
For Ole Zadareski, this is a common routine, checking the current wait time estimate for his permanent residency applications. He's nervous he may have to wait upwards of 5 decades after the immigration department confirmed to other Ukrainians that could happen. He's one of thousands who moved to Canada when the war began, but instead of his wait shrinking, it's growing by years.
I would be 95 by then, and even if I make it until 95 by some chance, well, that immigration status at that age probably doesn't matter that much anymore.
Zadareski was living in Latvia, going back and forth for work when the war broke out back in his home country of Ukraine. At the time, there were fears Russia would also make a move on the Baltic country. The military presence, including Canadian, ramped up. Zadareski and his wife feared for the safety of their daughters.
I want them to grow up in a place where they are not at risk of being bombed and don't have to worry about being bombed.
They turned to Canada's humanitarian pathway. They've been in Halifax for 3 years now. The parents have jobs. For the kids, it's home. The only piece that's missing is the comfort of knowing they can stay.
This is all I want. Just the paperwork and not to have to worry about my legal status in the future.
A lot of people feel like the rug is getting pulled out from under them.
This immigration lawyer says she has several clients in the same boat, wondering how they're supposed to stay in Canada for decades after their current permits expire.
I don't think the government is going to let that many people fall completely out of status if there's no option for them to return back home or to apply for some other program here. But it's a bit of blind faith.
Maybe the federal government of Canada is hoping that the war in Ukraine is going to end and we're all going to go back or something like that, but I do not personally believe in it.
In a statement, the Department of Immigration says it's cutting back on permanent residency acceptances. It says there are more Ukrainian applications than spots available. So Zadareski is left waiting and wondering what to do. Carolyn Ray, CBC News, Halifax.
The municipality of Shelburne says it will review its dog control bylaw after the death of a 13-year-old boy who was attacked by 3 large breed dogs while cycling near his home earlier this month. Municipal officials said in a statement the review will ensure the bylaw aligns with current best practices and modern standards related to public safety, animal control, and enforcement. Officials also said any potential amendments to the bylaw will be informed by the findings of the RCMP investigation into the attack. Drew Nickerson, a grade 8 student at Shelburne Regional High School, died in a Halifax hospital last week after he was attacked by a Rottweiler and 2 Cane Corsos on January the 3rd.
The pilot phase of the Liberal gun buyback program collected 25 firearms from 16 people in Cape Breton. Since 2020, Ottawa has banned around 2,500 makes and models of assault-style firearms. The government implemented a plan to buy back those guns as a way to fairly compensate owners. The decision saw backlash from the opposition Conservatives and firearms rights groups. This fall, a 6-week voluntary pilot project testing how that process will work was launched in CBRM. Officials had hoped to collect 200 guns during the pilot project. The government said there were a number of lessons learned from the low uptake, including the need for a clearer registration process and more instructions.
Today was day 4 of Nova Scotia Power defending its application for new rates in a public hearing. The Energy Board questioned company officials this morning about a request from the Assembly of Mi'kmaq Chiefs for a special rate class for the Mi'kmaq. The Assembly says higher power rates would disproportionately impact their communities. Blake Williams, a senior director with Nova Scotia Power, says he's talked with the Assembly about the issue, but he says the utility cannot create a distinct rate class without legislative change.
We do believe that it's important discussion to continue to have, because it's our hope that at some point something like that would be available, and we want to be ready to act on it when it is.
Nova Scotia Power wants to raise residential rates by more than 8% within the next year. The Energy Board hearing is expected to wrap sometime this week.
School bus cancellations in Colchester County have left parents scrambling to find alternative transportation for their kids. And as the CBC's Luke Ettinger reports, in some cases, students are missing school.
The morning rush has looked a little different for the Rushton family after the holiday break. Catherine Rushton's daughters take separate buses to their elementary and junior high schools in Colchester County. But after retirements, both are without a permanent driver, and that's leading to bus cancellations.
I am now having to check the bus planner every morning at 6 a.m. to make sure that I have a bus, or if I don't have a bus, and then how I'm going to plan for that.
Rushton and other parents have kept their kids home when alternate rides were hard to come by. For its part, the Chignecto Central Regional Centre for Education says it is working through the hiring process, but spare drivers are limited. A spokesperson told CBC News school bus driver recruitment is continuing, and the onboarding process for new hires is also being looked at. The area MLA says shortages are particularly a problem for rural areas.
I don't want to be critical. I think they're making significant improvements, but yes, it's not a new problem.
Taggart says he expects the Centre for Education to improve communication with parents, something Rushton says is needed, but so too is better planning.
These were not someone who went off sick unexpectedly. I could appreciate that. I work in healthcare. I understand staffing issues. But if they're having such a hard time recruiting, I wonder if it's actually the job itself that needs to have better reform.
The president of the union that represents bus drivers in the region declined an interview but said it is a province-wide problem. This past March, school support staff reached a tentative agreement with the province after concerns over wages and workplace violence. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Truro.
And let's get a quick look at the weather. Here's Ryan.
And that messy weather caused for some school cancellations in some parts of the province today.
Again today, primarily across Cape Breton, but yes, icy, windy conditions across the board this morning. And look at some of these gusts. Port Hawkesbury, 107 kilometer per hour gust earlier today, 96 at Sydney, 96 at Grand Etang, and widespread gusts 50 to 70 across the mainland. Thankfully, we're turning the dial down on those winds as we move through tonight. And in fact, the winds becoming light into Tuesday and then southwesterly, 20 gusting to 40 on Tuesday afternoon. That's going to have our temperatures bumping up. We're in the 1 to 2 range across Cape Breton and 3 to 4 across mainland Nova Scotia on Tuesday, and a pretty quiet day overall. The clouds likely more dominant, but we will see some sunny breaks in the mix and a chance to take our breath. We'll see, a couple of flakes possible through the late overnight, but quiet for Tuesday. Then our next system rolls in. We've got some showers and drizzle on tap for Wednesday, and then a wet system with some rain and mild temperatures Wednesday into Thursday. That full 7-day forecast is coming up. Tom,
Lots happening.
Busy. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
And talking about weather, golf in January. Well, before the icy conditions over the last 24 hours, the weather was good enough to draw golfers to partake in a round of golf near Halifax. Indian Lake Golf Course opened on Friday and on Saturday to take advantage of the mild weather. Take a look.
It's amazing, as a golfer who's golfed for the last 20 years, we really look forward to getting out. Doesn't really matter what time of year. As long as the course is in good shape, we try to get out and get some swings in.
The course is set up right now where we have platforms installed so that they don't hit off the ground. The moment that we have some weather that's makes it playable on the golf course, we allow golfers to come out. Sometimes it's 20 golfers, sometimes it's 40. Because of the weather today, we have allowed a full tee sheet, and as everybody can see, we are at capacity. we open every chance we get. In recent years, sometimes it's a couple days in January or February. It just depends on the weather. Everybody's thrilled right now, obviously. If you've been stuck inside for over the holidays and the cold weather and whatnot that we had, get a chance to come out in 7 or 8 degree weather despite the wind. Everybody's absolutely thrilled to get a chance to play.
Yesterday's challenges were more so, the ground being frozen. So, laying up with your shot and watching it bounce 60 yards is pretty fun. Whereas today it's pretty soft and, we should be able to attack the greens quite quick.
We're never surprised anymore. Last year, early in March, we had to hire extra staff to deal with the people early in March last year when the course cleared. So we're not surprised anymore. With golfers are a different breed. I don't know what it is.
It's a little different, but we make a point to try to do it every year. This golf course is great. As long as there's no snow on the ground, they open as often as they can.
Well, support is growing for a professional women's hockey team in our region. Hockey fans showed up in big numbers this past weekend in both Halifax and Sydney. Kyle Moore reports.
Hockey fans from around the world have descended on Member 2 this week, cheering on some of the best women hockey players under the age of 18.
Not so good for Switzerland, but we are not giving up.
The under 22 scoring. There's another shot.
Canada has jumped out to a hot start and remained undefeated going into Day 3 of the Under-18 Women's World Hockey Championship. The organizing committee are also celebrating off the ice with Canada's first 3 games sold out.
I think we're actually ahead of the curve of where we thought we would be with tickets when we were coming into it.
In Halifax, more than 10,000 fans flocked to Scotia Bank Centre to watch the Ottawa Charge defeat the Boston Fleet in a shootout. The game was part of the Professional Women's Hockey League's Takeover Tour.
I think it's so important that women's hockey is coming to Halifax. It's really important representation for the girls and the women that want to be playing hockey and getting into this sport that has been so traditionally dominated by men.
The support for women's hockey both on the mainland and here in Cape Breton is making a strong case for an expansion team in our region.
Halifax is a great hub for it when you're looking at airports and in and out and the vicinity, to every other game and for the teams to come into. Plus we have, we have our local coaches. You have Corey, you have Troy, we have players like Blair. We have all those people that, I'm sure would love to bring it back here as well.
No matter who you're cheering for, fans in Member 2 know this tournament is a win for women's hockey and to showcase the area.
We really like it. It's really nice, yeah.
The tournament continues all week with the quarterfinal and medal round starting on Thursday. The puck will drop on the gold medal game, which is also sold out on Sunday evening. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Member 2.
Canada's Transportation Safety Board is investigating a crash overnight involving the Via Rail train that runs between Montreal and Halifax. The passenger train slammed into 2 tractor-trailer trucks parked by the tracks. It happened near the community of St. Alexandre de Kamouraska in Quebec. No one was injured and the train was evacuated safely. Replacement buses were sent this morning to take passengers to their destinations.
A number of organizations in the province are asking people to donate their dried up Christmas trees so they can be put to good use. The Inverness Development Association in Cape Breton is using donated trees to enforce sand dunes along the beach. And in Pictou County, volunteer ground search and rescue are using the donated trees for training sessions on winter shelter building. The organization says there have been times when members have been stranded and need a shelter in place during a search and rescue operation. When the training is done, members will then scatter the tree parts throughout the area to make it easy for it to naturally decompose and help the ecosystem.
All right, rock fans, listen up. The signature of this lead singer from a legendary rock band was recently uncovered in Halifax.
Yes, maintenance workers at the Scotiabank Centre made the surprising discovery over the Christmas holidays. While removing a panel that protects an elevator wall, workers found a pristine signature belonging to Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler. It's believed the signature stems from a December 1993 show at the Halifax Arena.
Now, after the wall became unsightly with too many autographs, most were painted over in the late 90s.
And the skyline all lit up downtown Halifax. Ryan is up next with the full weather forecast. Do stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, for all of you who may have been lulled into complacency about winter with all that
The
nice
golfers,
mild
maybe,
weather
yeah,
on the
for
weekend,
sure.
boy, back with a vengeance in some parts of this province, and slippery in Halifax this morning.
Oh, the dog walk was very slow and very careful.
It was icy across the board, and yeah, maybe skates will be better than boots or shoes this morning for sure. It was really, really icy. Have a look at the overnight lows where we started this morning. We were right around -1 to -5, and of course, after the rain yesterday, that was just prime conditions for making things really, really icy. So hopefully everybody got to where they needed to go, and I'm guessing a few more people stocking up on some salt today.
Not a bad idea.
I think so.
Afternoon temperatures kind of hovering around that freezing mark in the southwest, -2 to -3 in through the northeast. And the big story, though, were, of course, the winds. They're the current temperatures. We're pretty much for our daytime highs, and they're the winds, which, as I said, have been the big story. Note the sustained winds, 30, 40, 50 kilometer per hour winds still at Westport, Grand Etang at 57. And those gusts, 80 kilometer per hour gusts still at Sydney. We're still gusting 70 to 80 across Inverness and Victoria County. So the blowing snow has been a big issue all day across Cape Breton, especially for Inverness County. Still gusting to 74, as you can see at Port Hawkesbury as well. And as we look at the satellite and radar picture, you can see that over the last few frames, that snow starting to taper off across Victoria and Inverness counties. Another couple of centimeters possible, but conditions are going to continue to improve throughout this evening. The blowing snow will become less of a factor, and some big time improvements in travel for the forecast on Tuesday, thankfully. This storm is pounding Newfoundland and southern Labrador as well. It is moving away out into the northern part of the Atlantic, and we've got this little trough that's moving into the Great Lakes. That is going to sweep through overnight into tomorrow morning. Couple of flurries from that, nothing to write home about. And then this is the next system we're going to be watching. That's going to be grabbing some milder air, and you can see it's 9 degrees in Edmonton, 11 in Calgary, 3 in Regina. That warm pocket is going to cross the country, and that's going to be moving in here Wednesday into Thursday. And so, yeah, the golfers' ears perking up yet again. As we look at the forecast temperatures for tonight, generally -3 to -8. We'll see temperatures actually bumping up a little bit overnight for places like Kentville and Bridgewater. Yarmouth dropping to about the freezing mark, also rising in your temperatures overnight into tomorrow morning. Let's time it out with your hour by hour. So there is that flurry action, or blowing snow and snow tapering to flurries for you folks in northern Cape Breton overnight. Note tomorrow in the early morning hours, couple of those flurries lingering, but overall it's very quiet tomorrow with a mainly cloudy sky, some sunny breaks. The best chance for some sun is actually going to be in the latter half of the day, of the afternoon, before the sun sets. And yeah, those temperatures tomorrow will be right around 1 for Cape Breton, those southwest winds, 20 gusting to 40. We'll jump up into the 2-3 range for Antigonish, Sherbrooke, the eastern shore, back into central areas, 2-3 degrees here as well, including the metro area, back into the west, and we'll see temperatures here in the 3 to 4 range with those winds also from the southwest, 20 gusting 30 to 40. Look at those temperatures on Wednesday. If you were going to be golfing, Wednesday is the better day than Thursday, and that is because of the rain. As you can see, Wednesday, yes, chances for some showers and drizzle, but really not a whole lot of precipitation in the mix here. Now, Wednesday, the winds are going to be gusting 50, 60 kilometers per hour. That obviously impacting the drive. Now, as we look at the Thursday forecast, there is the rain that is going to be streaming in with this next system. Looks like 10 to as much as 30 millimeters of rain. So yeah, not good for the golfers, also not good for the ski hills that I know they're still kind of trying to salvage what snow is down, and obviously such a great start to the season, but days like this really having an impact, obviously, and so many folks love skiing this time of year. So not good news Wednesday, Thursday. Those showers on Friday mixing to flurries as temperatures will be dropping throughout the day. We're down to -6 by Saturday morning, around the freezing mark or a little above Saturday. And then another system, Tom and Amy, that we're tracking for Sunday. That one also looking like snow to rain at this point, but we'll be keeping you posted on that throughout the week.
We're talking about
you on your toes.
Yeah, skiing and golfing in January in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's right.
Quite a winter so far.
It's to be expected in this province,
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ryan.
Well, an investigation is underway after a ground crew member on a flight preparing to head to Moncton got trapped in the baggage hold of an Air Canada Rouge plane shortly before takeoff.
The crew member was only rescued when passengers heard noise below them. The CBC's Ian Curran explains.
Air Canada Rouge Flight 1502 was taxiing down the runway at Pearson International Airport, about to take off for Moncton, when some passengers heard frantic banging and yelling from the floor beneath them.
And some of the people that were sitting towards the back of the plane heard the person screaming and banging, trying to get their attention. One of the person even said that they called 911.
Gabrielle Caron says the pilot soon announced takeoff was delayed because a ground crew member was trapped in the baggage hold.
We're noticing the flight attendants are kind of running back and forth in the airplane, and on the ground we can see the crew gathering around the plane, so we know something's happening.
The person is perfectly fine and safe.
The plane taxied back to the terminal and the crew member was rescued. Air Canada declined to answer questions from CBC News, but it did confirm that the aircraft cargo doors were inadvertently closed while a member of the ground crew was inside, adding that there were no injuries and the incident is under investigation. While the crew member's experience would have been terrifying, making that flight would not have caused serious harm, says this aviation expert.
So there was no danger of, hypothermia or any other asphyxiation. You're not supposed to be in there. We're not supposed to be carrying, individuals, human beings in that cabin, in that hole.
He suspects normal procedures were not followed, and investigators will want to know why.
What was his state of mind? What was his work content? Was he fully alert throughout the process?
I'm just very grateful that, we have a positive outcome. Everybody's safe and healthy. Nobody was injured. That's the most important part. But I'm sure it could have been much, much worse.
Ian Curran, CBC News, Moncton.
Coming up, the adventures of Natalie Hazel, a Nova Scotia mother who lost her daughter in the floods of 2023, writes a children's book in her memory. A Nova Scotia mother who lost her daughter in the 2023 floods has written a book, The Adventures of Natalie Hazel, Trip to the Zoo. And that's in her memory. 6-year-old Natalie Harnish was one of 4 people killed while fleeing their homes during a devastating rainstorm. And I'm joined now by Courtney Harnish. Courtney, very sorry for your loss. Can you tell us how you and your family are doing?
We're doing okay. We're getting through.
Now, this book obviously comes out of a terrible tragedy. How did that night unfold for your family?
That night was terrifying. So we woke up in the middle of the night to a phone call. There was already water in the house. The water outside was already quite high. And we needed to escape it. We needed to get out. We chose to get in my husband's work truck because it was the heaviest of the vehicles. We thought that we could get through the little spot that we needed to get to higher ground where we would be okay. But unfortunately, the truck did stall in the middle of the road, and then the water came and pushed the truck right into the deeper water down into the field. And from there, it was escaping the truck and holding onto branches and waiting for help.
Well, how did the idea of the book come about?
The book came from my therapy. I started therapy a few weeks after the flood happened to try to process everything. Through my therapy, we decided that writing might be a good option for me. I do process things better in writing it out, but like the journal writing wasn't really my thing. So I started writing about the actual flood, the details of it, and that just kept my head in that space. I couldn't get out of it. It was always going through my mind. So instead of writing about that, I started writing about happy memories with Natalie, and the zoo was one of those first ones that I started writing about. It was a big one for us. And then with encouragement, decided it was going to be a book.
Well, what was Natalie like?
Natalie she was amazing. She was the sweetest, kindest little girl that I've ever met. She loved everybody. She had a bit of an attitude, but it was good. It was good. She was a little bit of a tomboy, but also a girly girl. She was funny. She was amazing.
And why the zoo? What kind of special memories does that place have?
The zoo, I took Natalie to the zoo for our first trip around, she would have been about 6 months old when it was just based on when the zoo season started. So she was about 6 months old. And every year from then on, we must have gone at least a dozen times. We were there constantly. We loved it. I love Oak Lawn Farm Zoo. I miss that zoo very much. It was one that her and I spent a lot of time at.
Well, what do you hope kids and adults get from reading that book?
My biggest hope is that people can just see a little bit of Natalie's personality shine through it. To me, it's really helpful to see that positive side of things with her, those positive memories in this positive book, as opposed to always the flood.
Well, and what kind of feedback are you getting now that folks know you've done this?
Oh, it's been incredible. There's a lot of people talking about how they've bought copies, how they've shared it with everybody. The people that have received copies already have told me that they love it. It's been great.
Do you think you have any more books to come?
I hope so. I know when I first started and when I first got this one on the process of publishing it, I had a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of them written down and started, and a couple even fully written, but we'll see. I'm hoping to publish another one.
Well, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, Donald Trump says his administration is weighing military action to stop the Iranian regime's crackdown on anti-government protests.
And Malaysia and Indonesia become the first countries to block Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok over sexually explicit deepfakes. Welcome back. U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran has proposed to negotiate after he threatened military action over Tehran's crackdown on nationwide protests.
Iran's leadership says they're open to talks, but also prepared for war. The CBC's Margaret Evans reports.
These are the images the Iranian regime wants the world to see. Not a leadership cornered and despised by its own people, but one still able to get its base out on the streets. The country's woes and those demonstrating against the regime blamed on outside enemies. Agitators shooting people in a bid to draw U.S. President Donald Trump into the fray, according to Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. At present, our security forces have full control in all the cities across the countries, he says. There is also complete intelligence dominance. And with its internet blackout, these are the images the regime is doing everything it can to stop the world from seeing. A makeshift morgue in Tehran. People searching for missing demonstrators and finding them. Rights groups believe at least 500 people have been killed by security forces.
There seem to be dozens of bodies piled on the hallway.
Irina Muradi is with the Kurdish NGO that verified the morgue videos. Her fear also for the living, the detained, including, she says, 26-year-old Irfan Soltani.
Apparently linked to the protest and demonstration, and now he received a death penalty, and the family was informed that they will execute him on Wednesday, in 2 days.
The demonstrations against the regime are now entering their third week, an illustration, say analysts, of the Islamic Republic's vulnerability. But the regime and its security forces still wield the greatest of weapons, fear, and they're using it to full effect. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
Myanmar is facing accusations of genocide before the United Nations top court.
We brought this case after reviewing credible reports of the most brutal and vicious violations imaginable inflicted upon a vulnerable group that had been dehumanized and persecuted for many years.
The long-awaited case is now underway before International Court of Justice. It asserts that Myanmar targeted its ethnic minority population in a 2017 crackdown. That campaign drove more than 700,000 Muslim Rohingya out of the country in Southeast Asia. A UN fact-finding mission later determined that genocidal acts took place. Myanmar denies the allegations, saying it was targeting insurgents.
Politicians and policy experts are expressing outrage over the U.S. Justice Department's criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. For months, Powell has been deflecting Donald Trump's push to have him lower interest rates. And now Powell himself is pushing back. Tony Waterman reports from Washington.
The Justice Department is investigating whether Powell lied to Congress about the scope and cost of renovations at the central bank's headquarters here in D.C., which have now ballooned to $2.5 billion. Powell has maintained that this is due to the age of the building, with all of the wiring and piping needing to be replaced. But President Trump has accused him of gross incompetence. And really, Trump's dislike of Powell is no big secret. The president has repeatedly disparaged him, calling him too late Powell for not lowering interest rates fast enough. And Trump has, in a complete break from norms, threatened to fire the Fed chair on multiple occasions. In a rare video address, Powell called the criminal investigation a threat and a consequence of not kowtowing to President Trump's demands.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation.
There's been a lot of outrage on both sides of the aisle over this investigation. Even one of Powell's biggest critics, North Dakota Republican Senator Kevin Cramer, has said he doesn't believe the Fed chair is a criminal. The major concern here is not just that the DOJ is being weaponized to go after one of Trump's perceived enemies, but that there could be serious damage done to the Fed's independence, and that would impact the broader economy. Republican Senators Lisa Murkowski and Tom Tillis say that they will now block President Trump's Fed nominees, including Powell's replacement, until this issue is fully resolved. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren has accused Trump of abusing the authority of the DOJ to serve the interests of billionaires, and top economic officials, including the three most recent heads of the central bank, have condemned the investigation, calling it an unprecedented attempt to use prosecutorial attacks to undermine the Fed's independence, saying this is how monetary policy is set in emerging markets with weak institutions, adding that it has no place in the United States. Tony Waterman for CBC News, Washington.
While some Canadians want to see oil shipped abroad from BC's north coast, others are dead set against it. The CBC's Lindsay Duncombe has taken a closer look at the conflict. Here is a sneak peek at a story she's done.
Getting rid of the tanker ban on British Columbia's north coast. A catastrophic danger?
There is no chance in God's green earth that there's ever going to be an oil tanker up the BC north coast.
Or the country's best chance at economic survival.
We need to override the discriminatory anti-Canada ban on shipping Canadian energy overseas.
The reality is a lot more complicated than the sound bites, and some argue there's a middle ground, a way to control risk and make cash.
This is not just a simple yes or no gate going down.
It happens every day, sometimes twice. Massive oil tankers move Canadian crude from Burnaby, British Columbia to international markets. Traffic like this is not allowed here. BC's pristine northern coastline is protected by what's known as the tanker ban.
The Prime Minister and Alberta's Premier signed a new agreement.
Some worry that protection could go away now that Ottawa and Alberta have signed a deal that might mean a new oil pipeline to BC.
And you can watch Lindsay Duncombe's full story tonight on The National at 10 p.m. local time on CBC Television. You can also stream The National's YouTube channel.
Brush fires are tearing through southeast Australia, leaving at least one person dead and hundreds of homes destroyed. Annan Ram reports.
From above, bushfires cut a scar into southeastern Australia, and after days, they've burned an area almost the size of Prince Edward Island.
It's terrible to see, and you just don't realise how bad it is until you're in the middle of it.
The town of Harcourt was hit hard. Some homes and businesses reduced to ashes.
Incredibly tough. Those people who've lost their homes, 47 in Harcourt alone. These are communities that are under real pressure.
But what led to the worst season since the Black Summer bushfires of 2019 were days of exceptionally hot, dry temperatures.
It will evaporate a lot of moisture over perhaps only a matter of weeks in what we call a flash drought. And if you dry out what is a heavy vegetation load, that's just literally fuel for the fire.
And all over that heat, the fingerprints of a world made hotter by the burning of fossil fuels.
When we looked at over this area, we were seeing temperatures that were 2 to 5 times more likely due to human-caused climate change. What we're seeing is, more fires more often, and it's making it a lot harder for the landscape and for communities to recover.
And while parts of southern Australia burn, the northern part of the country is dealing with flooding following a tropical cyclone. Those communities can expect emergency resources to be strained right now, with months of wildfire season remaining. Anand Ram, CBC News, Toronto.
There's growing concern about Elon Musk's AI chatbot because it can produce sexually explicit deepfakes. Malaysia and Indonesia have just become the first countries in the world to ban the chatbot Grok. Nisha Patel looks at the problem and how governments are dealing with it.
Grok is an artificial intelligence chatbot. It's accessed through the social media platform X that's owned by Elon Musk. Some users have been prompting Grok to edit photos of people, removing their clothing and putting them in explicit poses.
It's happening to average people, and not just women. It's also happening to children. There's all sorts of things happening on there. It's been monitored. There's over 200,000 images that have been created using this, and that's a big problem.
To stop the flood of sexualized content, Malaysia and Indonesia have banned Grok entirely.
Lives can and have been devastated by this content, which is designed to harass, torment, and violate people's dignity. They are not harmless images. They're weapons of abuse.
Britain is also cracking down with a new law that makes it illegal to create non-consensual intimate images.
But the responsibilities do not just lie with individuals for their own behaviour. The platforms that host such material must be held accountable, including X.
Elon Musk wrote on X that the British government was looking for any excuse for censorship.
So every company has its own approach to how they're going to try and constrain what you can do with the model. And Grok is one that's tried to have a free speech, absolutist point of view.
X said it would take action against illegal content by removing it, permanently suspending accounts, and working with local governments and law enforcement as necessary. The platform turned off its image generator for many users, but paying subscribers still have access to the function.
They probably should go much further in terms of, controlling and putting guardrails on their content generation.
Ottawa says it's not considering a ban of X, and in a statement says the federal government is using existing enforcement tools to press platforms to remove illegal content quickly. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
The Golden Globe Awards were handed out in Los Angeles Sunday night, honoring the best in film and television over the past 12 months. So who won in a show that sets up the race to the Academy Awards? The CBC's Griffin Yeager has the highlights.
And the Golden Globe goes to.
And the Golden Globe goes to.
The Golden Globe goes to.
If you missed the Golden Globes, here's a recap. Nikki Glaser hosted for the second year in a row, kicking off award season. She didn't hold back referencing current affairs.
And the Golden Globe for Best Editing goes to the Justice Department.
But overall, the show was very safe. There weren't really any political statements in speeches, but some celebs like Mark Ruffalo, Wanda Sykes, Jean Smart, and Ariana Grande wore anti-ice pins that read "Be Good and Ice Out." It's a tribute to Renee Good, who was shot and killed in her car by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. In film, one battle after another won big. It took home 4, including Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Picture Musical or Comedy, and Best Supporting Actress for Tiana Taylor, a first-time nominee who gave this emotional speech.
To my brown sisters and little brown girls watching tonight, our softness is not a liability. Our depth is not too much. Our light does not need permission to shine. We belong in every room we walk into. Our voices matter.
Timothée Chalamet won his first Globe for Marty Supreme, and Hamnet got the other big prize of the night for Best Picture Drama. K-pop Demon Hunters from Canadian Maggie King also took home some gold, Best Animated and Best Song for Golden. Here's EJ, one of the singers, accepting the award.
It's a dream come true to be part of a song that is helping other girls, other boys, and everyone from all ages to get through their hardship and to accept themselves.
On TV, White Lotus went in as a frontrunner, but left empty-handed. Adolescence won 4. Stephen Graham got Best Actor in a Limited Series, and 16-year-old Owen Cooper won for Best Supporting Actor, the youngest actor to ever win the award. And of course, the Canadians. R. Scott Gemmell won for The Pit. He's the creator of the show. And Seth Rogen won Best Actor in a Comedy for The Studio. Here's Rogen on stage.
Thought the only way I would get to hold one is to create a whole show to give myself a fake one.
I'm launching a new podcast.
The Globes also gave out a podcasting award for the first time, which went to Amy Poehler's Good Hang. And that wraps up this year's Globes. Griffin Yeager, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index drove further into record territory today on strength in the basic materials sector, while U.S. markets also rose. Here is a look at the numbers as we head to commercial break.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, it's winter again. It's back on.
Spring, winter, spring, winter.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very confusing, isn't it?
Back to spring over the next couple days. Yeah, temperatures on the rise. So as we were mentioning earlier, talking golf, talking skiing, all in the same weather forecast. Let's have a look at our viewer picture of the day. Not golfing or skiing here, but boy, if you have a chance to check out the Northern Lights, this was
It's a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. This was early Saturday morning. Diane Irwin at Amherst Shore with a fantastic pick. As always, Diane is really, if there's Northern Lights on the go, Diane's gonna know about it. So thank you for that. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Temperatures near 1 for Cape Breton, 3 and 4 degrees across mainland Nova Scotia for tomorrow. Those southwest winds, 20 gusting 30 to 40. And so indeed it will be fairly mild, but not compared to Wednesday, which we'll be looking at temperatures in the 7 to 8 to 9 range. And we are looking at those winds from the southwest on Wednesday that are going to be gusting 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. You want those types of temps, much like Saturday, it's going to be mild, right? Or going to be windy, that is. Now, as you look at the future tracker here, we've got that little trough coming in, chance for a flurry overnight into early Tuesday, but generally Tuesday is quiet. Then that warm front comes in, reinforces that southwest wind. And note that there's just not a lot of green there for Wednesday. That is, obviously the rain is just not that prevalent. We'll see some showers, some drizzle, some fog patches. And then we are looking at that next system, bringing in that push of moisture. And by the time we get to Friday, it looks like we'll have seen about 10 to 30 millimeters of rain, heaviest amounts in the east. Now that cold front coming in from the west Thursday into early Friday, that does look set to drop our temperatures throughout the day. So Friday, I've got the high is 0. That looks to be in the morning. So some icy conditions developing as temperatures drop throughout the day on Friday. And then as we said, Tom and Amy, another system to watch for Sunday.
Okay.
All eyes. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Well, a new edible lollipop showing off at the recent Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas is letting people not just hear music, but also taste it.
Yes, and the novelty generated quite a bit of buzz at this year's convention, impressing those who got to test it out.
I'm like, no way, no. I'm like, it is music. So I can see my great nephews and nieces actually getting involved in something like this. And it was like, here I am, 66 years old, and enjoying something like this. It's amazing, bro. It's amazing.
The Lollipop Star is a candy that plays music. Users cover their ears while licking the candy to experience the song.
The music is transmitted from the lollipop to the listener using bone conduction technology.
The candy is priced at $9 a piece and will go on sale soon.
They don't look silly at all, do they?
We may have to give it a try.
Yeah.
That's
Delicious.
Yeah, you bet. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.